Yo, I do want to. So I want to pivot though.
Okay.
Let's pivot.
I want to ask y'all like more serious conversation. What do y'all think is going on with? I feel like it's a what would we call it? An epidemic of people denouncing because of religious reasons.
I think people are, again, everything points back to social media, which is probably why we all gonna die in the end of the world and AI and all shit, we gonna die. But I think with social media being what it is and things being in your face more, just like, I think a lot of people are going through religious psychosis. And that's an extreme, but I also feel like people have a level of like guilt or wanting to fit in. I did a video about this, and the church girls were not pleased with me at all. But I was talking about how a lot of the church women, because I've had so many neos this year alone denounce, and it's like, girl, leave us alone. You know what I'm saying? But I think also like it can get really deep. But you think about like white supremacy and that umbrella, and like women going back into like this conservatism, black Christians being more conservative, blah 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 blah. Everything is the devil. You want a good Christian husband and you want to go to heaven, so you got to let go of the devil sorority. But the men don't, not as much. They're not denouncing as much, but I am seeing more men. They are denouncing too. But I feel like women are twice as bad.
And to make it worse, they posting this shit like.
They posting it. They having denouncing conferences now. They're all like the denouncers are linking up and starting a new
now they're going to be a fraternity.
Now they having a denouncing fraternity. You taking the long way. You still going to hell now. Great. So it's just a lot. I feel like, I don't know. I feel like the black church has us in a chokehold in general, but there's a level of shame and guilt that's a part of it, and people start to shame and guilt the sorority. Oh, it's demonic. Oh, blah, 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 blah. And it's like, my mom is the most safe person I know. Her and Jesus like this. If she ain't denounce, I'm not denouncing.
So the latest thing I've seen was us having to recite or like take an oath. Right? People are trying to say like you're not supposed to pledge to anybody, like God says don't pledge to nobody else, right? Then I think about it and I'm like, we pledge allegiance to the fucking flag.
To the flag. If you a doctor, you take an oath.
Nigga, if you get on the stand, you take an oath.
You go to the military, you take an oath.
I feel like a lot of people are still trying to find themselves right now. So that's why they're trying to denounce, because it's like, what am I trying to do? What am I trying to accomplish?
What's holding me back?
You get what I'm saying? So they're looking for that reason. Like you said, you don't have to make an announcement. If you're going to denounce, just denounce.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And keep it pushing. Tell your chapter, tell your line brothers, and that's all I need to know. You know what I'm saying? Or some close brothers, but going on the internet and be like, hey guys, I'm denouncing, and this is why. They're following a trend. And it's like, you know what? If you find yourself, find yourself. And I'm not hating on nobody. If you want to denounce, if that's what you feel like the right decision is, then do that. But you don't have to make an announcement.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? You can just keep it pushing.
If that's your conviction, that's your conviction. Right. I'm not a you and God's group track. You know, I don't know what y'all over there talking about. But the posting or the making the videos, linking up with other denouncers, y'all going to hell, you blocking line sisters, it just gets really strange.
You know what I don't like, if we're gonna be real? First of all, we can all have the conversation about how religion was created to separate us. We can have that conversation. But there's another conversation about like the specific religion that you're a part of, right? So we talk about Christianity. I don't know if we want to get this deep into it, but a lot of things that we follow today isn't Christianity.
Yeah.
If we would have had a conversation. Niggas are celebrating Christmas, niggas are celebrating Easter, niggas are celebrating Valentine's Day, niggas are celebrating fucking Halloween.
Right.
But you want to denounce from a fraternity.
Because, listen, it's a very slippery slope. Because, like, if you want to uncover shit, we can just be doing this all day.
No, all day.
All day.
Literally all day.
Literally all day. I do, if being in a sorority
niggas is having sex out of the what? I mean,
but
if you want to
now,
go there,
just,
I mean, we can go there. And I'm not saying that, wait, I'm not saying you got to be perfect. Because what I will say is, when I was like, so I've taken a step back. I don't want to say taking a step back, but I'm not as consistent with my church as I was, right?
Yeah, same.
And when I was super consistent, I started doing things that was easier for me, right? And I will be honest, like getting married was one of them, because I was with my lady for so long, and I felt like this is a sin that I don't have to commit. We can go to the courthouse. We can get this done. This is something that I don't have to commit. So I can see somebody saying this is one of the easier sins that I can get rid of. So I don't want to like start being judgy, but I'm just saying it's so many things, and because I'm a part of the fraternity, and I know for a fact we ain't worshiping no devil.
Yeah.
We ain't worshiping no and when we talk about being an idol, anything can be an idol.
Anything.
Football can be an idol. Your kid can be an idol. Let's
Right.
talk about it. Like, people don't understand
Yeah.
that when we talk about idols, it's not just an object. It's anything that you put in front of God. So it's
Yeah.
like when we talk, like when I hear people denouncing, I'm just curious because it's like, what do y'all think this is to
And
want to
my
denounce?
thing is, I think it's an insult to God. Because you think God is stupid? You think God can't discern what's an idol and what's not, or can't discern what you worshiping, what you're not worshiping? Like, if I'm in a sorority, but I'm not active, I ain't said that. I repeated what I needed to repeat and said what I needed to say X amount of years ago. But you think God don't know my heart? If God know your heart, he know your heart. But again, I'm not in people's brain. I'm not in people's conversations with God to know. But for me, I feel like God knows the difference. God is not dumb.
But if we're gonna have the conversation, right, let's have it
Right.
for real though.
Let's unpack it.
That's the one thing that I think, if anything could be different, maybe niggas don't have to recite.
And
shouldn't
that was the
recite
one
anything.
part I remember me and me
And
my
we being
license
real.
after
Like,
was
if we gonna talk
now,
about it, we
did
talking
you
about
see that one part? Yeah, that one part was kind of crazy, right? And we kind of made a face, and I was like, I kind of watermelon strawberry that part because it was uncomfortable. I will say, but after that, I was just like, all right, next, because we got the candles and it's weird and we in the dark and blah. It is iffy, but I think. But at the same time, we're citing Bible verses. We're going to church. We're
Yes.
doing this. We're doing that. But I think also with secret societies in general, they all have that weirdness to it. Because it was a girl who denounced Spelman. Because Spelman itself is a sorority.
I'm sorry.
She did.
That
You didn't see
almost
that?
went over my head. I'm like, oh shit.
Wait, she denounced her school?
Yes.
She denounced Spelman.
Why? I'm not.
Spelman is a sorority. Morehouse is a fraternity. Like, they have oaths for the like they have a process for the school. Like, they freshman week is them basically like being online because they like cross the school. It's like a whole thing. That's why if you notice the Spelman sororities are all like chartered in like the late 70s and 80s because they didn't have sororities for a long time because the school itself was kind of meant to be the sorority. If that makes sense.
Crazy.
And if Spelman girlies don't fight me if I'm wrong. Like, but from my understanding of my Spelman friends, what they talked about, like the sisterhood is the school itself. So creating a sisterhood within the sisterhood is where a lot of conflict came from. Now I know the Morehouse chapters are older because I know A-Row is like 1924. They've been have fraternities, but for a long time, Spelman did not have sororities.
And that's why I said,
D9 at
if
least.
we're going to have the conversation, I do want to have like, seriously.
Yeah.
I think that's the only thing, if anything could change, because honestly, without that, everything is still the same.
Everything is still the same.
Literally.
No, like I don't know what y'all say. I don't know what y'all say. But like we had a moment where I was like, I'm sorry. But other than that, that was a quick little moment, whatever. But also, I feel like God understands. Like, well, no, you said that thing.
Yeah.
Now you got to go to hell. I don't think God is that petty.
I don't, it wasn't nothing like that was necessarily iffy. Maybe you, like, I didn't, second, like, it was really about brotherhood.
Yeah.
If I'm thinking about it right, and I'm not trying to give too much away, but like, it was literally an oath to our brothers, and of course we, traditions and things like that, but it was never like,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Like, okay, I'm a,
Pledge your life and your soul and your spirit.
yeah,
It's
it
just
was
like,
literally about my brothers, and
I'm saying whatever to get out of there. Fuck that.
I mean, you think of some of the song lyrics too, like, okay, all of my love and my heart or whatever. It's like
Oh yeah.
they
yeah.
all remix gospel songs. It does get iffy.
but even, bro,
But
if
we-
y'all want to be real though,
we all
because
good in
even
here.
within the gospel music sector, right, of the genre,
Right.
you have Christians out there who talk down on people that do gospel music because it's still some sort of secular music.
Oh yeah, but you get too. They let Kirk Franklin have it.
Yeah, so it's like, what you?
It's too strict.
It's it's just
No,
It's too many rules.
everybody in this room is good because God is the Alpha,
In the Omega, amen.
so we good. If everybody in the sorority fraternity is going to hell, bro, hell gonna be lit because there's gonna be so many motherfuckers in there.
Literally.
No, I
It's
have a
crazy.
joke I wrote about this for stand up, and I was just like, it just has to be a logistical nightmare for hell if all of the people that got to go to hell for all the stuff they got to
Oh,
do.
yeah.
Can you imagine the paperwork the devil got to file if everybody got to go to hell just
Ain't
for
gonna be
being
no
an AK?
room.
God, they ain't got no beds.
Ain't no. That is hilarious.
They ain't got no beds.
That is
he could. I don't
hilarious.
Hell
think
can't
it's
be that crowded. It's got to be some other way. But I think it becomes a fad. I think it becomes something cool to do. I think you get in these churches and the churches kind of are brainwashy. The churches get culty, and that's the other thing too. You denouncing, but you're in a culty church. Now ain't nobody heard from me. I think that's my biggest concern with the denouncing, and it's that.
Come
it's
on.
the sense of community that is in these organizations, and if you close off this part of your community and your only community is whatever church you're in, that's how the brainwashing happens, and abuse can happen here, and all kind. You can't leave. You can't. Now you done shaved all your hair off. You got a long skirt on. It's a lot going on.
Have you guys ever had like a conversation with somebody that denounced, like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yes.
And what was it like? I know besides the reason they put on the internet, like what did they say? You know what I'm saying?
I have an ex co-initiate who has denounced, and we had a real conversation about it because it was just like so much happening at once.
Right.
And this is last year when the little Alpha chapter Delta girl denounced like a month after the probate. Did you see that? Did y'all see that?
Yeah, I seen that.
She denounced like it had been 4 weeks, and I'm just like, it was a lot. Then it was like a lot of denouncing happening around the same time. I guess it just happens probate season. I don't know, but we were just talking about it. I'm just like, my concern is, okay, you denounced today. What if you denounce me next? Because I'm on stage talking about dick every weekend. You know what I'm saying? So at what point are we no longer going to be friends because you've denounced?
Right.
Or what is the limit? Are you not going to come to homecoming no more because we sitting at homecoming? What's the limit? You know what I'm saying? Right. And, I was talking to them and they were just like, this is my personal thing. I don't want to do this. She was like, I don't want to denounce. But this is my conviction. This is something that's keeping me up at night, and God had told me to do it. And I respect that. Right. They never made a video or nothing, but I just respect their decision. And that when the people get online and posting rituals and stuff, that's when it gets weird, and you linking up and you making Instagram now, you making content about it because you want attention.
Right.
But it was somebody who genuinely, like, this is my conviction. God said this. I'm being obedient. I tried to avoid. I tried to not do this, but I can't sleep at night because of it. This is what God said to do, and I'm doing it. I'm being obedient to God. Respect. Period. No notes. Do that.
Right.
Because I can't tell you what God. That's why I keep on saying, like, I can't tell you what God told you.
Right.
But for the people who do it for content, or you just want a nigga in the church, you know what I'm saying? In my video that I did on TikTok, I was just like, you want a nigga in church, and the nigga in church is just James on the drums. It's just that one nigga, and he cheat. Or somebody's like, he might be gay. He might be gay. He might hit you. It's so much. And I think the black church is not a safe enough space for y'all to be sacrificing community to be a part of. Because you think about all the abuse, all the sexual abuse, all the verbal abuse. You think about how judgy it is. You think about the Maverick City nigga said he voted for Trump like 3 days ago. It's just so much foolishness in the black church that you may as well say it in your sorority.
And even when you're talking about making things an idol, I feel like within the black church, they make the pastor an idol.
They make the pastor. Y'all having appreciations, all this stuff.
A lot of people are going to the church because the pastor's there, and if the pastor's not preaching for that day, they won't go.
They worshiping the pastor.
I seen a church where they was doing like some theatrics or something. What was it? Y'all seen that video? But it was like a whole bunch of just some BS, bro. It was
Easter?
like, it was not. You said it again? I'm sorry.
Was it Easter?
It probably was the church
no
when
idea,
what song was it? They was playing a song.
Oh, they was playing Swag Surf at church?
I think it was. Like, I remember it was a lot.
It's like, what they got?
Dream Center was playing Swag Surf. It was an instrumental, but it was playing at church and it was swag. And here's the thing with that, because I did defend Dream Center because they also had a Greek Sunday and people were strolling in the sanctuary and they were dragging them for that. But I'm like, going to church, they have different themed Sundays, and there is a Greek Sunday. That is a thing. You know what I'm saying? But they're not being inappropriate. They had a prepared step, and they did a prepared thing, because they're not inherently demonic. And I'm in the whole deconstruction era, so like this is why I'm like, yes, I couldn't wait to talk about this shit. But I did a video saying that everything that's not Christian is not inherently demonic. You know what I'm saying? Like they saying, oh, this chair wasn't blessed by God, so it's demonic. Everything not demonic. Some things are demonic, but everything is not demonic.
Right.
So even in the black church, there are plenty of things to criticize, because the pastor got a private jet and he landed on the helipad to come to church service. That's crazy. You know what I'm saying? It's stuff like that is crazy. I don't know what you're talking about though. Like, I'm sure it was an Easter play and somebody was flying in the sky.
It was in an actual. I got to go look at the video, but it was an actual church where it was like a whole bunch of theatrics, and I'm like, this has nothing to do
with God.
You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
I mean, but even to your point though, bro, like, so the church I go to, right, and it's still uncomfortable to me because it's so different, right? But that's why I decided to go to the church, because all they talk about is how to get to heaven, and they preach every sermon is out of the Bible, right?
Right.
And although I do miss my traditional black church, what I will say is, if you take a step outside of your comfort zone, and you will see that most churches today, most black Christian churches today, is not really preaching about getting to the kingdom of heaven. It's really motivational preaching, right? And like, if you look at it, like, I don't know if that's good or not. That's all I'm gonna say. Like, most pastors that I see, black pastors that I see, is really motivational. And that's why I like them, because it's like, oh wow, I can relate to that. I decided to go to a different church and I see the difference, and I'm like, wow. Although I appreciate the black church, it's like, now our question is like, yo, are you really giving me the sermons that I need to get to heaven? Because that's what it should be about.
I think a lot of churches too, outside of some churches want a cute little soundbite for social media so they can go viral. Now they getting online ties. But some people aren't might get tongue tied when I get excited. Okay, some preachers are not preaching about how to get to heaven. They're preaching about how not to go to hell. And that's also the issue. You tell me what not to do. Well, what do I need to be doing? You saying don't be gay, don't be a whore, don't do this, don't do that. Okay, we get it. I don't need to be sucking dick. So how do I get to heaven? What are we talking about? You know what I'm saying? You over here just shaming and whatever, everything else. What are the steps? How do I call God?
If we want to, we can have this conversation.
We can have the conversation
because honestly,
yeah,
they're not having that conversation because they don't even know. Because
what?
In the traditional church, bro, they're still doing a lot of things wrong. Like a lot of these things that we see in the traditional church is tradition, right? But it's tradition of the wrong thing. So even if we go back to the Protestant church, right? We broke off of the Catholic church to still abide by some rules, and we just changed it to what worked for us. Okay, so they're killing people for not going to church, so we won't kill people, but we'll still take everything else with them, right? So even if we go back to like Christmas, I don't even want to say going to church on Sundays. I don't even want to go there. We ain't even gonna go that deep. Things like Christmas, right? Things like Easter. Like, it's like, this didn't work. I didn't like this. So what I'll do is I'll change this because I know killing people is wrong, but I'll keep this. So we're still keeping rules from the Catholic Church, right? Yeah. But we're fixing it in a way that worked for us, if that makes sense. So it still ain't right if you want to be technical.
No, I mean, the other gag is if you really want to wake it up, this wasn't even our religion. This was beaten and raped and murdered into us by the man, and it all comes down back to white supremacy and whatever. Because there were Christian people practicing Christianity in Africa before the slave trade. They were in like Ethiopia, though. They wasn't West Africa where they got us from. So it's like they gave us this. I think black people are still so traumatized from slavery, even though it's been X amount of years. We're still in this slave mentality of things being beaten into us, things being, okay, this or hell. Listen to your master, you're going to hell. That's still, the message is still kind of the same, even though they've changed the word. You know what I'm saying? Denounce your organization or you're going to hell. Get a husband and stop having sex out of marriage or you're going to hell. So it's like that or hell has still been waved over our heads like it's been for hundreds and hundreds of years. When again, this was a religion that was given to us like, here, take it or die. So we done got off topic on Greek life, but it all ties back in. Yeah.
Just stop denouncing online. That's the...
Just denounce and go home.
Peace. Denouncing peace.
Denouncing peace.
That's it.
It gets kind of weird.
You know what I mean?
And I mean, it can even go to our practices in the organizations that still kind of go back to slavery as well. If you want to wake that up as well. And we wouldn't get to
you didn't go through your initiation online, did you? No. So denouncing
and that
peace.
too.
Oh.
And that too. But and they say, oh, well, I publicly declared my membership, so I can publicly declare my denunciation. That's their logic. That's what the people be saying.
Yeah, I heard that.
Yeah, that's what they be saying. So, yeah.